Basketball rivalries have always captivated fans, but when they extend beyond the hardwood into the realms of social media and public opinion, they become something entirely different. This is the case with Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers, two of the most talented and celebrated players in women's college basketball today. Both are phenomenally gifted, with devoted fan bases, and both are shaping the future of the sport. But recently, their names have been linked with a supposed rivalry that some argue has been exaggerated by fans and the media. Adding fuel to this fire, soccer icon Megan Rapinoe, Sue Bird's fiancé, has publicly called out what she perceives as a narrative that unnecessarily pits these two athletes against each other. Rapinoe's comments, along with the ever-churning rumor mill on platforms like Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok, have added a new layer of intrigue to the Clark versus Bueckers saga. Let's break it all down. Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers have achieved near-mythic status in women's college basketball. Clark, a 6-foot guard from Iowa, has been lighting up scoreboards with her jaw-dropping range and ability to take over games single-handedly. She's been labeled the female Steph Curry, a comparison that even the NBA star himself acknowledged in a tweet after one of her stellar performances. On the other hand, Paige Bueckers, who leads the charge at UConn, is a player whose poise and basketball IQ have earned her comparisons to legends like Diana Taurasi. Bueckers is more than just a scoring machine. She's the epitome of a team player, capable of orchestrating offense and making those around her better. Given their immense talent, it's no surprise that fans and analysts have started comparing them. From side-by-side statistics on ESPN to heated discussions on sports forums, everyone has been weighing in. But is this comparison healthy, or has it spiraled into something more toxic? If there's one thing social media loves, it's drama. Platforms like Twitter and TikTok have become breeding grounds for speculation about the Clark-Bueckers feud. Take, for instance, a Reddit thread titled, "Why All the Clark Drama?" Here, users dissect every interaction, or lack thereof, between the two. One popular comment reads, "Caitlin didn't even make eye contact with Paige after their last game. That's not normal for two players who supposedly respect each other." On Twitter, a post claiming that Bueckers subtly shaded Clark in a post-game interview racked up thousands of likes and retweets. The tweet read, "Bueckers really said, 'We play real basketball at UConn,' and y'all think that's not a shot at Clark's style of play? Never mind the fact that Bueckers said nothing of the sort." The internet had decided that a feud existed. Even Instagram has played a role. Fans were quick to notice that Clark didn't like a celebratory post from Bueckers after a major win, fueling further speculation. Enter Megan Rapinoe, who recently voiced her opinion during an interview with Sportskeeda. Known for her outspoken nature, Rapinoe didn't hold back. She accused fans and the media of drama fueling, a term she used to describe how stories of rivalry are manufactured and amplified, particularly in women's sports. "It's absurd," Rapinoe said. "We have these two incredible athletes who are breaking records and inspiring young girls. And instead of celebrating that, we're trying to tear them down by creating this fake drama. It's exhausting." Rapinoe went on to point out the double standard in sports coverage, noting that male athletes are often allowed to coexist without the same level of scrutiny. "Nobody pits Steph Curry against LeBron James the way people are doing with Caitlin and Paige," she added. Her comment struck a chord with many, but also drew criticism. A Reddit user responded, "Rapinoe needs to realize this is just how sports fans are. Rivalries make the games more exciting." Others, however, praised her for calling attention to the unnecessary toxicity surrounding women's sports. While Rapinoe made headlines, Sue Bird herself has remained relatively quiet about the situation. A legend in her own right, Bird has always been a vocal advocate for women's sports, but seems to be taking a more reserved approach this time. Insiders suggest that Bird's focus is on mentoring younger players like Clark and Bueckers, encouraging them to rise above the noise. According to a source quoted in Bleacher Report, Bird believes that both players have the potential to redefine women's basketball and doesn't want them distracted by manufactured drama. So, where do the two players themselves stand on all this? Both Clark and Bueckers have consistently downplayed any talk of rivalry. Clark, in an interview with Sports Illustrated, described Bueckers as an amazing player and emphasized her respect for her competitor. Similarly, Bueckers told The Athletic, "Caitlyn's one of the best players I've ever faced. The media can say what they want, but we're just focused on basketball." Despite these public statements, fans continue to look for signs of tension. During a high-profile matchup earlier this year, viewers noticed that the two didn't exchange handshakes or words after the game. A TikTok video analyzing their body language went viral, with the caption, "You can feel the tension through the screen." The Clark-Bueckers drama highlights a broader issue in women's sports, the tendency to pit female athletes against each other. As Rapinoe pointed out, this isn't as prevalent in men's sports, where rivalries are often celebrated without devolving into personal attacks. This disparity reflects societal expectations, where women are often portrayed as being in constant competition. The result is a narrative that undermines their accomplishments by focusing on supposed conflicts rather than their skills and achievements. One columnist for The Washington Post summed it up perfectly. "Instead of asking who's better, we should be asking how lucky we are to witness two generational talents at the same time." Fans are a double-edged sword in this story. On the one hand, their passion drives the sport forward, creating excitement and boosting viewership. On the other hand, their obsession with rivalries can sometimes overshadow the athletes' actual performances. For instance, during a live Twitter Spaces discussion, one fan argued that the rivalry narrative makes games more entertaining. "We need storylines to keep people invested," they said. But another countered, "Why can't we just appreciate both players without making it a competition?" As both players continue their careers, likely heading to the WNBA and potentially the Olympics, the narrative surrounding them will undoubtedly evolve. Whether the focus shifts from rivalry to mutual respect depends largely on how the media and fans choose to frame their stories. There's also hope that players like Clark and Bueckers can use their platforms to challenge these narratives. By continuing to uplift each other and call out toxic behavior, they have the power to reshape how women's sports are perceived. At its core, Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers' story isn't really about a feud. It's about how society consumes sports and the role fans and media play in shaping narratives. Are we so hungry for drama that we're willing to manufacture it? Megan Rapinoe's comments have sparked a necessary conversation, but the real change will come when we, as fans, choose to celebrate rather than compare. So where do you stand? Is this so-called rivalry legit? Or are fans and the media making mountains out of molehills? And do you agree with Megan Rapinoe's take on drama fueling? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Celeb Titbits for more deep dives into sports drama and insider stories. Who knows? The next chapter in this saga might just surprise us all.